Okay, so here's my stand that I made for the fencing arm. So I got my standard thing that I've made here, and I actually have some bearings so that this can be tilted up or down. And I have another one right here that'll allow me to rotate the whole assembly. So when I'm not using this, I can tilt the blade up and then rotate it kind of out of the way. So that's the basic idea. And with version 2, I'm going to shrink this and just have a spring-loaded arm basically to allow me to actually put some target area on this. So let's go and build this. Okay, so I've been working make things for this Mark II arm here, or not Mark II, but Mark 1.1, I guess you call it. So I got my arm here. It's going to get mounted, and this can pivot up or down. And it's a pretty stiff bearing, so it's not that big of a deal. I guess if you really shake it, you can get it to go down, but other than that, you set it up and it stays where it's set. And it's just slapping wood together, kind of following the plan that I made on the computer. So I have a stand here, just like how we just like how I designed it on the computer. So I'm just gonna keep working away at it, and we'll see how it looks. There it is. It's not pretty. There's definitely some problems with it, but the whole arm rotates, so when I'm not using it, I can actually rotate the blade up and then rotate that. Now it's pretty much compact. I have a piece of granite right there to weigh the whole thing down. Demonstrate some problems with it, specifically with the bearings here, because it holds pretty well. It holds fairly well. Just pointing at my proper target area here. Take something, and if I beat it, it moves slightly. It only goes down, it appears. So, frequent resetting of the arm is going to be an issue. So I might want to add something to allow me to set the position that I want to work on, hold it in place until I'm ready to change it, like some sort of pin. But I don't have a blade with me right now, but it seems like it's in the right direction. I just need to shore things up a little bit more. So a quick solution on keeping this in place while I practice with it, I think, is just put some clamps on it until I come up with a better solution. So yeah, that's what I got so far. Test this out. so one problem is just have this big board right here. I'm trying to take tight blade actions. You're limited by this board, so I really need to get this compacted. The thing I wanted to demonstrate was just the power difference between a beat and an expulsion. So a beat, and then here's an expulsion. Let's see if I can get it not hit the table here. Outside one's a little weak. Let's see if I can get this. Let me move this away from the table so I don't hit it again. There we go. So see how it, even with the clamp, it forcefully moved the blade out of the way. Much more forcefully than a beat would do. So, this may not be great for, it may not be a one side of the ultimate fencing arm that I really want, but it certainly helps me practice blade actions like a bind, envelopment. It's trying to disengage my envelopment. Opposition. Bind. Glide. Press. It's funny, it disengages. It disengages binds. That's kind of funny. That's what you do an envelopment for. I like that. Ooh. Yeah, you can definitely get some weird dynamic blade work going. Oh. You can even simulate a beat. Hold the blade off to the side. Disengage. Catch your blade at 6. So I'm back with this, and I think I'm just going to go ahead and remove this panel, because this is a way unfair shield this guy's got. And I eventually want to be able to stab it in its arm region. So we're just going to go ahead and remove this and take these springs and just kind of onto the side of some more things that we're going to be adding to it to be able to mount these. So let's go ahead and get this started. After some thinking, I have this microphone mount that articulates. I was a little worried that it wasn't going to be strong enough, so I never pursued it before this. Also, I wanted to use it for a microphone, but right now it's just sitting in a closet, not doing anything. So we're gonna see if we can make something with this. And if not, if this is not strong enough, we might have to just make our own with some stiffer springs. And we'll see what we can make. So I opened up this articulating arm, and because that was curled, so that you could like slot it into a hole and then clamp a screw down onto it. I opened that up and then put my own screw holes in, and then just marked some holes right here so that this will just screw to that block of wood right there, and then we'll have a fencing arm. Okay, so this is actually a lot stiffer than I thought it would be. So let me show the features here. So this has a mount for the microphone that seems to work fairly well with a blade tang going on there, so you can tilt that up and down. I just have it clamped to the stand right now. So yeah, this is pretty stiff. I guess you could loosen it just by untwisting that, and well, let's see if I can. Oh boy. Don't fence like that with your arm like that. That'd be wrong. But I guess if you just have it loose, then it can actually have some degree of movement, and it stops if it goes too far. It's not as self-returning as I want it to self-return. Because if I were to slap the blade, it just goes down. It doesn't return. Which is a problem. But that's a problem that we've already solved with the springs. Like this. So I wonder if there's a way to mount a spring onto that somehow to return it. Not looking too bad. You can rotate or open or closed lines on different inside or outside. It definitely needs more springs because it just doesn't have it. See, that's pulling down. Everything's pulling down. So all I can really do right now is practice low lines. So I can do low lines. So I could do that. Or just practice hitting right into that bite, or so I could practice point control. You know, I wouldn't try flicking with this blade. Not with my arm the way it is, but getting there. Just need to lift it up. I was doing a little bit of blade work, beating it around, moving it around, hitting the arm if I could, and well, this just gave up and dropped the blade, so I think it's done. We'll have to come up with a better solution. We'll have to come up with a better solution for mounting the blade and just having a little bit more firmness to it.